Hey guys, what's up? I'm Bianca.
And I'm Chioma.
You're watching BCTV, and we are here to review Love and Marriage, Huntsville, Season 4, Episode 7.
My Bloody Galentine.
My Bloody Valentine. This episode was kind of boring until the end, so I'll just run
through this real quick.
And we'll focus on the scene that everybody cares about. So I think the scene starts off with Kimmy going to Madani to talk to Destiny and pretty much ask her, like, what is going on with you and Mel? Because I'm confused. And Destiny has stuck to her story of, I don't know. Ask Mel. I really don't know. Oh, Destiny.
I don't know. At this point, I'm actually confused on why they're not cool, because now that I'm thinking about it, like, I kept thinking about it. Because Melody's the type of person, like, if she did hear you talk about her, she would say, I heard you say this, and this. Mm-hmm. She can't say it, like...
Yeah, she's not said exactly what
it was. So it makes me feel like you kind of already didn't want to be her friend, so you're looking for an out.
I mean, I'm sure she was. I feel like Melody's issue is more so, why are you getting close to Tisha?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And I wish she would say that.
And just say that, because honestly, that's valid.
Why are you... If you didn't know Tisha before me, and we're supposed to be so close, and you know I don't like her, why are you getting close to somebody I don't like? That's weird.
Yeah, it's valid. Everybody don't think like that, but just, everybody doesn't have to. If that's how you feel, then say it. And if Destiny feels like, well, I just don't agree.
You can't tell me who to be friends with, and that's okay. Y'all agree to disagree, and if y'all can't be friends, cool. But I guess my problem with Melody is she never just outright says it. It's like she always tries to be like she's above it, above the drama, but you're not.
I fly above. Shout out to Candy. Oh, sorry.
Well, when you want to get serious, you let me know.
I fly above. I don't know why that song is so funny to me.
I just remembered that over here.
Who? Somebody's hair?
You said she look like a homeless waitress.
That sounds like something I would say. But who? I'm sorry.
Okay, all right. Back to the room.
Oh.
No, why am I crying? What is this?
Yeah, so that part where she'd be like, it's beneath me. That's how Mel be acting to the group, basically. Y'all beneath me. Y'all beneath me. Like, I don't know why you just want to come out and say it. It's like Melody talks in circles. Not talks in circles, but it's like she beats around
on the bush.
The
like,
bush.
Just get to it why you don't like her.
Yeah, so basically Kimmy's like, she's kind of like saying, well, I kind of feel like y'all might get back cool because y'all had disagreements in the past and, y'all made up. And Destiny was just like, I don't know. And Kimmy was like, well, it kind of feels a little different this time. Like, maybe y'all won't because your energy seems different. Hers seems different.
They both seem just kind of over it.
They seem over it, yeah.
And I'm like, look at Kimmy Kimmy just trying to divert from the Atlanta story, the trip, the picture.
I don't even think nobody cares about it.
But I think that's why she's trying to like just kind of take that focus off of her and Maurice.
I honestly feel like it more so has to do with that she really doesn't have a storyline.
That too.
Because what is the storyline? The picture wasn't enough to carry a season, so I feel like she's trying to insert herself into
some drama. And then she'll say, I'm always involved in the drama. You literally, I get it, granted it's a reality show, so we know you have to, but like, don't be acting all surprised. Like, what is all this? That's they all irritate me. Like,
they are such, anyway.
Yeah.
So she invites Destiny to the Valentine's Day dinner thing. Then we get into Mel. She visits her therapist or psychologist or whatever. Mel looks really like young, and she looks young, but like she didn't have on makeup, so she looks so young in this scene. She has nice skin.
And when you gotta think about it, Mel is young though. Like, I think we'd be like, oh, she has 4 kids, so you automatically think she's probably older. Like, she's only like 34, 35. But I think she's 35 now.
She looked 20-something in this.
Yeah, I think she's a Scorpio, as she says. I think she turned 36 this year.
Yeah,
so I'm like, she's still really young. It's just, I feel like because she's been a mother for so long, it's like we just automatically assume that she's older.
She's a mother.
I'm a mother.
But yeah, basically she's telling her therapist like, I don't really know about this Galentine's thing because I know it's gonna be filled with people that I'm not really like rocking with. Her therapist is just basically like, yeah, well, just decide what like mindset you want to be when you walk in. Decide the type of energy you're gonna give them. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take note of that as well. Thank you. What happens next? Oh, Marceau goes to meet with Maurice. Let me make sure I got the names right. Yes, yeah. Marceau goes to meet with Maurice. Basically telling him about Martell wanting to buy. Is it Skull? Skull.
I think it's Skull.
That's an ugly name.
I actually think Skull. I don't even think it's ugly. Actually, I just think I don't like the people who are involved.
Maybe that's
Skull
what it is.
Not a bad name.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, he was just telling him about the conversation him and Martell had a couple episodes ago, and Maurice is just basically like, okay, well, if he does join y'all, like, who's gonna buy the shares or something like that? And Marcel was like, I didn't really think of that. And Maurice was like, yeah. Because I doubt Tisha's gonna want to do that again.
Tisha already told you she don't want to do this. Like, she don't even want him involved. So why are we even still talking about this again?
And honestly, it's not your duty to help Martell.
And Martell is a 40-year-old man. He gonna have to, I'm sorry.
Get your builder's license.
Get your builder's. We already know you're good at building houses, so just get the builder's license so you can just make your money doing that. Like, it's just like he's just so determined to cut corners.
Yes.
And just so lazy. And he doesn't want to sit down and focus and do something that he knows he can make money off of. It's like
he wants to always be up under somebody.
And it's just like, bro, you're a 40-year-old man. You gotta, with 5 kids, you're gonna have to figure some shit out. You need to make something shake.
Make something shake, man. Like, it's getting.
You have the tools to make it. You just don't want to do it. I can't understand this kind of laziness.
It's getting embarrassing.
It's so embarrassing.
Yes. So Marceau pretty much tells Maurice, like, yeah, Martell buying back into Schultz right now is not even on the table. And I'm like, then why are we even having this conversation? Like, then this whole conversation is very stupid
and pointless. Like, I was like, this episode just filled a whole bunch of stupid, like, filler stuff.
Which leads me to the next scene, another filler. Martell goes to visit his friend Fred, I think his name was.
That's such an old person's name.
It is. Fred looked like he was cute when he was younger, though.
No, but can you imagine, like, what am I going with a 2-year-old named Fred?
No, some names I'd be like Gertrude. I'd be like, you really looked at your baby and named it Gertrude? Fred, he gotta be a junior.
Or do you, like, what do you call, oh, my little baby. I guess you say Freddie when they're baby.
Freddie.
Right? Yeah, because I can't imagine calling a baby.
His name's probably Frederick.
Or probably, you never know, love Frederick.
Honestly,
I mean, somebody would be having some, y'all got some names on y'all.
Having some names on y'all.
So, yeah.
Which, side note, if anyone watching is a Young Thug or Gunna fan,
they got some. First of all, well, they got the most normal.
No,
names.
They had normal. Well, Sergio is kind of.
But a lot of black people. I mean, a lot of black people have like Hispanic names. Like, but his name is Sergio Kitchens, but.
It's just a funny sounding name.
But like, and everybody knows the Young Thug's name is Jeffrey. But
on the indictment, accomplices that they had on the RICO charge.
It was one of the pages. It's like 20-something people, but like one of the pages had nothing but wild names. I was like,
it was like Kentavious, Tenquavious. Everything was Avius.
And I was like, actually, your son was definitely gonna be a menace when he grew up. Look what you named him. Like, why me? Like. I'll be pissed if my mama named me that. I'm like, so you went in labor for how many hours? You carried this baby for 9 months or 10 months, really. And that's what you chose to name your kid?
And they be having the most simple last names. It'd be like Green.
Mm-hmm. Kosharviarius Williams. Like, all right.
Man. Anyway, that was a side note. So Martell, he's visiting with his friend Fred, basically begging again, like he was begging Marceau, like, oh, I want to get into this, da-da-da-da. In his confessional, he's like, yeah, it's just my first time in a while since the divorce, like trying to get my feet wet with real estate, and I'm confused why it took you this long because you up there trying to do calendars and wines and all
I
this.
do it. Stick to what you know. And what funny thing is, like, with Mel doing whatever she clearly is doing better at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think she's doing like any of the real. Well, I think she still wants to do construction, but like I don't think she's big into doing that. I think she's making money other ways.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I don't know why he didn't capitalize on that. Like,
I think if I can remember, like episode 1, she was trying to do something with a factory or something, because I remember she went to Stormy's factory and was like asking her for advice or whatever. So Martell just seems to not have that sharpness that Mel has, which is why I think he likes to latch on to people he feels has that.
mm-hmm.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing. But you still have to be willing to, like, you still have to bring enough to the table where it makes sense that I'm okay with you latching on to me because you help him make things easier for me too.
And Martell's a liability at this point. Like, he's always getting, even if his business is going good, he's always getting involved in something in the blogs or,
Mm-hmm.
you know, something like you don't want your name attached to that, you know?
Especially for the line of work you're in, like, construction is not entertainment business.
Yeah,
like,
so we don't need to be hearing all this. Remember, I mean, when they're going through divorce, they were saying contractors were pulling out
mm-hmm.
because
the negative press.
The negative press. So that's off the strength of that alone. I would not work with Martell. And off the strength of whenever Martell falls out with you, he badmouths you. Like,
that's the thing.
I would never
if you were
want to do
getting
business with
negative
him.
press from your divorce, that's one thing. But the fact that you do turn on people so quick, and two, it just sometimes, I can't say, because I know that we only see 40 minutes each episode or whatever. It just be feeling like you don't pull your weight enough.
Yes,
like,
and that's what I'm saying. That's why I do say he's lazy. Like, he's
mm-hmm.
lazy. Like, he just wants things to happen for him. But like, it's not. I mean, for some people, it does just happen for them. Like, you know, they're not. But that's not you.
I mean, if it was like you were pulling your weight, then even with the press, I think some people would be like, well, he is really
a good businessman.
Yeah.
Like, his work
ethic is like unmatched or something. But child, he is talking to Freddie, and Freddie's pretty much
stop
like,
calling this grown ass man Freddie.
I don't even know if that was his name. I think it said that. Whoever the guy is, he's like, when you gonna get this builder's license? And he's like, I know, everybody keeps telling me.
Word on the curb is that the builder's license is open book.
I remember hearing that last season too. Some of the other reviewers are saying that it was open book.
That makes it even worse that he won't go and take it, or that he keeps failing it. Actually, that's
I feel like he only failed it once. It was like, I ain't doing that no more.
How do you fail an open book test? I'm not trying to be funny, like, because I've never took the builder's test, but I just feel like
I'm assuming it was timed. That had something.
So you didn't even study to know where things were.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't. That's what I'm saying. You didn't do the proper preparation. I don't feel like you should be able. I don't care. I am not the smartest person in the world, but I don't think anybody should be failing an open book test. Sorry.
And then on top of that,
especially something in your field, like, you know,
this
like, it doesn't make sense.
No. On top of that, Fred was like, he gave you this book with all the stuff marked and tagged.
Highlighted.
You're like, I don't really feel like it. I think I'm gonna just stick with you because you got the builder's license.
Right, take the test for me. And I'm like, how do you know Fred is always good? What? God forbid something happens to Fred tomorrow. Then where will you be? No builder's license. Like,
or what if he just don't want to do this
work
shit
with you
no
more?
more?
Like,
what if he retires and he's like,
or what if y'all fall off? Then you cannot use him anymore. Martell doesn't use his brain. All he knows how to do, he doesn't use this head. He uses the head down there, and that's why he's in the position he's in. So
the part that got me about this conversation was Fred actually did say that, like, you know, what if we fall out? Like, you don't want to have your builder's license, so that way you don't gotta.
Business will proceed without me.
Yeah, and he was just like, oh, well, Mel's a woman.
I don't even
we're men. Like, you know, we men usually know how to, like, iron out their differences.
The same men that you were in business partnership with Marceau, and you fell out, and now you're not in business, and you're trying to get back in with him.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Martell's not smart. Next, that's just that Alabama school education.
Fred is literally looking at him like, okay.
Martell's definition of you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink it.
Exactly. And now I do see how someone like what they call her, coleslaw. I do see how someone like her, because I used to wonder, like,
what the hell do they talk about?
Yeah, now
they're
I
both
see
not smart.
They're both, you know.
And honestly, Martell's smarter than her, which says a lot. So yeah, so he's a dummy, and then he needs someone who's even dumber than him.
Dumb and dumber, literally
fools. Pray for that baby.
Oh gosh, that baby is so cute. I did see the baby. He looks like the mom.
I be feeling bad for kids when they're born into this kind of situation. They nasty to be here.
And that's how I be feeling about Kirk and Rish.
Was that even real though? Because I've never mentioned, after the show ended, we never heard anything about that baby anymore. I actually started to think it was a lie.
Well, if it is, hopefully it is actually. But if it's not, yeah, I used to feel sorry for the baby, but that's neither here nor there. This is the only scene I can remember, so I'm gonna just go to the Galentine's thing.
How did you think everybody looked? I used to think Destiny was pretty, which I'm not saying she's ugly, but something about her looks very off to me this season.
She looks tired.
She looks like she's eating a lot of salt.
Yeah, something about her looks swollen. Like, I don't know, it's like she's not. Yeah.
She's not big, but then she looks swollen to me. That's why maybe she needs to cut down the salt.
I think Destiny tends to wear things that don't like flatter her shape. Like I don't think she has a bad shape at all. I just think it's kind of like that dress she wore last season at Mel's video release party. It was so unflattering on her body. I feel like that dress might be unflattering on a lot of people's body, honestly.
The dress is ugly.
The dress was just, not cute. This dress that she wore to the Galentine's wasn't necessarily ugly, but it just kind of like made her look like more boxy than what I remembered her being.
And Destiny has one of those faces to me, like she's not fat, but if you just saw her head, you would think she's bigger.
She has a chubby face.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people do have chubby faces. I felt Tiffany looked old as usual.
I'm still having a hard time knowing that she's 34. That is insane.
I just want to know why you dress like that. Like, this is supposed to be a cute, sexy dinner with your friends. Like, wear a short, cute dress with some heels for once.
She does wear heels. They're just
open toe heels, not those damn.
I said bakers. Remember bakers?
Not those damn PTA
peep toe heels. That's her definition of sexy heel. The little heel with the peep toe.
Yeah, it's so 2005. Like, stop that.
I don't think Stormy's pretty, so that's just where that is. I don't find her attractive at all.
I'm trying to understand. Did you get a silk press and it was like humid outside?
That's what I assumed. I assumed that. I mean, because Alabama's the South, so I just assumed it would. It was, but it's Galentine's actually. So maybe it was humid.
I just want to know what it was. Because if that's what it was, girl, I get it. But like, I'm just wondering what you were going for. I can't even remember. Was Stormy just? I don't know what she was wearing.
I think I thought Tisha looked pretty.
Tisha, I liked her pants. I
thought she looked pretty in the face.
I liked her makeup. I liked her pants. I would have liked her to not wear that thing. I felt like a white crop top would have looked cute with those pants. And I liked her hair actually.
She looked nice. Mel, I think Mel's pretty.
Oh, Mel always looks like Mel.
Good. Yeah, it's just be her wigs that be throwing me off. But
her wigs this season have been better, except for that one scene earlier. It was that scene in the episode where Martell had the book signing.
Don't touch me.
And she was FaceTiming
her mom. Yeah, that wig was crazy.
God. That was a tragedy.
But yeah, she looked fine, and then
Kimmy looks nice.
Yeah, Kimmy looked. Well, yeah, she was cool. So yeah,
I think we covered everybody. So did you? How much? Okay,
just go.
So
I'm just gonna piggyback.
So Tiffany's the first one there, and her and Kimmy pretty much like, ooh, how do you think it's gonna go? And Tiffany's actually hopeful. She's like, I think if everybody could just like talk calmly, we can get to the root of the problem.
I think Tiffany forgot who she was, who we were discussing. That would be for normal people. Yeah, that would work. I think Kimmy's like giving rules like of how it would go. I'm like, you giving rules before the people even get here, so how are they supposed to know that what? Yeah,
that was so weird to me too, because that came back up later on in the scene, and
she was like,
I said no one should say girl, but only Tisha and Tiffany were there when you said that. You should have said that right when everybody was at the table. You should have been beefing at that wedding.
And I don't even know why Stormy was involved. Actually, yeah, go for it.
Mel had to bring Stormy.
As her mouthpiece.
Has to have like a backup.
Because Destiny was her person last season who was rah. Now she has Stormy. And I'm like, Stormy's literally unless they're literally about to beat Melody's ass,
there's no reason
for this. Like, Melody's a grown woman. She knows how to defend herself.
I don't know. I feel like there's two reasons Mel brought Stormy. One,
because
she don't like
nobody
there. Yeah.
I mean, she likes Tiffany, but she needs somebody else in her corner.
Yeah, Tiffany was playing more of a neutral in this situation. So I can understand it from that aspect, because if I was going into a room of people, I was like, I would be like, Chioma, can you come with me, please? Not necessarily for her to like fight my battles, but just so I can
feel more comfortable.
Feel comfortable. But yeah, it's like the people she brings do tend to be more rah-rah than her, and I'm like, why do they go so hard for you? Like, you're not even mad. They're more mad than you are.
And she never goes hard for it. I've never seen Melody go hard for anybody but her kids. So, I mean, literally. And I'm not saying that's a bad, well, actually, it's not a good thing, though, because it does look like you're not a good friend. Like, you expect a lot out of people, and it doesn't, from what we see, like you said, we only see 40 minutes of it. Mm-hmm. We don't see you put much effort into your friendship.
We don't. It's kind of, and I'm going to touch on that from a side note that she did. She said at one of her IG lives. But, yeah, so anyway, Tisha comes in her sneakers, and she makes a little joke like, you know, well, I'm ready for whatever. I'm kidding. And I was like, clearly you weren't.
And that was honest. It's just very unnecessary.
Yeah, and I was like, out of all the times to fight.
I think for, what's her name, Tisha, I guess it was just good to see Tisha stand up for herself, even if I don't agree with her, because I'm like, she literally always just lets them talk to her in any kind of way.
I agree. I do think it was good to see her finally stand up
even
for
though
herself.
She's still not making sense to me.
But this was like such a minute thing. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like there were other times
they literally called you stupid and you didn't say anything, and then now this is when you want to rah like y'all already not friends. Who even cares?
Yeah, it was just kind of like whatever, dude. So yeah, after that, Mel and Stormy come. And this is the stuff about Mel that sometimes I'm like, she always acts like people are beneath her. Like, she makes a comment about Tisha not acknowledging her when she comes in. First of all, you literally don't like her. You don't like her, but also she was there. When you walk into the room, you're supposed to be, hey, everybody. Then if she doesn't respond, then I can
Then you can say, like, well, I was trying to be nice. And yeah. But, like, you literally do not like Tisha.
If
she would have spoke to you, it would have been like, I don't know why she's talking to me. Like, but then if she doesn't speak, it's a problem.
I feel like Tisha can never win when it comes to
Mel, that's what I said. I want Mel to just be like, I don't like Tisha. That's just what it is. And then literally you fucking called her the ops. So I don't think you really care if she says hi to you or not. You're just trying to make an issue out of nothing.
Act like a victim, basically. Like, okay, so what? You walked in the room, she didn't speak. Y'all are not on good terms. Why would she speak to you? If you cared about speaking, you should have spoken, seeing as how you were the one who walked into the room. Because if it was the other way around, I'm having a hard time believing you would have spoken to Tisha if she walked into the room. I'm really not seeing that play out in my mind. But okay, girl. And then finally, Destiny comes in, and I'm guessing she was super late because Kimmy made like a comment about it, like, oh, it's about time. So they start eating, talking, whatever, and they do a little activity. Kimmy has them write on one side something that is true about them, and then on the other side something that they feel is a misconception about them. I forget everybody's misconception, but I remember Tisha had something on there, and she was like, oh, I should have changed mine to naive. And Kimmy was like, oh, you think you're naive? She was like, no, people think I'm naive. Of course, it was just kind of like this look around the table like, girl.
I actually don't think I don't think Tisha's naive. I actually think she knows exactly what she be doing, especially when she be talking to her mom about stuff. She knows her mom's her mouthpiece. Mm-hmm. With her marriage, I think she definitely knows she gets cheats on. I think she tries to play like, oh, like, you know, y'all are.
She tries to save face for the
save face, but I don't think she's naive. I don't think Tisha's the smartest, but I definitely think she's more calculated than what people would like to believe. Mm-hmm. So,
absolutely agree. So basically, everyone talks about like their misconceptions. Oh, Destiny, I did want to point that out because she was like, "Oh, people have a misconception that I'm aggressive." Destiny, you do come off aggressive, and this is not just on the show. I've seen a couple of your interviews, and your
energy is just very off. off to me.
Yeah.
I don't. Her energy is off-putting to me, so I could not hang out with her just because she just seems like she's always has attitude and is always just like, yeah, whatever.
You have, you know.
And she's been like that since the beginning of the show, even when she first had her issue with Kimmy about the chicken man conversation that she knows damn well Kimmy didn't mean nothing by that.
It was, no one took it that way. It was like, obviously a joke.
Like, yeah, you are kind of aggressive. And I kind of, let me just say this. I kind of hate when black women say, like, don't call me aggressive, that's a trigger word. But, like, at the end of the day, if it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it talks like, I mean, it's a, ducks don't talk, but it's a duck.
Walk like a duck, quack like a duck, look like a duck, it's a duck.
And if you're aggressive, am I not going to call you aggressive just because you're black? I'm sorry. Don't agree with that.
Yeah, like, people
you're aggressive and Stormy's aggressive. Y'all are both aggressive.
Very aggressive. Just because you're black does not mean you can evade accountability of being aggressive. We're not stupid. We know when that word is being used as like to dismiss somebody or whatever. But you do come off very aggressive, and I'm having a hard time seeing how after watching yourself back you don't see it, because sometimes you might not know, but then you watch something back like, oh, that did look aggressive.
But I'm really realizing even these grown ass adults, people really are not self-aware.
That's true. There's actually a lot of people who are more than not self-aware, and that's crazy to me, because how are you going to grow?
And you see, they don't grow. And that's why they just lose friends and change them out, because they never really grow and figure out what the issue is. Maybe there's an issue with themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So,
child, yeah.
I just need therapy, child.
Y'all need, yeah, well, Destiny, I don't know if you're in therapy.
She needs it.
But you need some.
Stormy needs therapy as well, because I'm like, why the hell are you so
so
rah-rah all the time?
Yeah.
She looks like she fights for fun, actually. So
I know she can beat everybody ass there. But yeah, Tisha interrupts the whole thing. Like, anyway, look, I heard that y'all had a lot to say about me at the little pajama party, so I'm here. Whatever y'all said, y'all can say it to my face. And it was just so awkward how she like interjected that. So everybody's kind of like, okay.
And if we're at Galentine's and a Christmas, I'm like 2 months later.
Yeah, exactly. Because wasn't that a Christmas pajama party?
Yes, it was.
Like, why are you still on this?
If for somebody says they don't care, why are we still talking about this? And these are people you don't like. Like, who even cares?
If you were gonna address it, you should have been addressed it.
I'm just
like,
so.
Anyway, Mel pretty much is like, okay, well, who are you referring to? Me, I'm assuming. And she's like, well, yeah, actually, I did hear you had a lot to say. My cousin Kiki told me that you kept trying to get her to talk about my marriage. And Mel's like, okay, really? Let me call her. And she calls her. And she's like, Kiki, hey, it's me. I'm here with Tisha. And Tisha's like, and you're on speaker, so make sure that you tell the truth about what you said.
Tisha, I don't know. Nobody's scared of you, so okay.
You should have just let her say what she was gonna say. Like,
now you look stupid.
And Kiki was just kind of like, okay. I mean, I don't know why you expect otherwise. So Kiki pretty much, she kind of tries to walk the line of saying like, yeah, I did say stuff, but not like that. And then Kimmy jumps in and was like, well, let me help you remember. You had more than what I thought was your fair share to say. And I told you that I didn't feel like it was a conversation we should be having in Mel's kitchen, that that's something you should call Tisha and talk to her about. And she's like, well, everything I said was true. Okay, but that wasn't the argument. The argument was, did you have stuff to say?
So you just said, yeah, I did.
Yeah, like... And so...
And that's really what Kiki's thing is, just like, what it was true, so like, I don't understand. But she's not understanding, like, you just shouldn't have talked about it with them. But she's just like, well, it wasn't a lie, so I don't see why you're so mad. That's Kiki's argument. It wasn't a lie, so why are we mad? I
don't think Kiki's getting it, but I'm confused on why Kiki's not getting it, because she gets it when it comes to Tisha.
So doing it to her.
So Mel's like, okay, cool. She hangs up the phone. They start talking about the issue, and Mel's basically trying to be like, well, it's not like we were worried about you the entire time. Your name came up because we were talking about the picture. And then they're trying to get to the bottom of who brought Tisha's name up first. And I'm like, that doesn't even matter. Who cares? It really doesn't matter who brought her name up. The point is y'all talked about her.
Mel did this, in my opinion, I could be wrong. She did this because she had brought Kiki on there because she wanted Izzy put out there that there had been rumors about Marcel and Tisha, that it wasn't her that was breaking up their marriage. That's really why she did that, was proof. Like, haven't y'all been hearing these rumors? Like, that's pretty much what she put out there. So, and I wish she would just say that. Like,
I was about to say, I wish she would have just brought, if she was gonna invite Kiki, I wish she would have been like, Kiki, look, I just want you to help me set the record straight. Like,
yes, and I want her to be like, yeah, I invited her because I want to set the record straight. But for you to be like, no, I mean, we've been friends and blah. I'm like, girl, okay.
If you would have just came right out, I don't think anyone would have really thought that was weird. It would have just been like, oh, okay. And Kiki would have been like, yeah, there had been rumors prior to you saying that.
And
that's it.
That.
She didn't have to go into anything else, but whatever. I feel like Mel does not ever think she's wrong.
That's the problem.
That's why she can't hold accountability, because you did engage in messy talk with Kiki. If that was your cousin, you would have seen something wrong with it. But in this instant, because you invited the cousin, it's okay.
Because you don't like Tisha, it's okay. That's pretty much what it is. Yeah, Mel doesn't have any account. She doesn't take accountability at all, actually. So, yeah, that seems like the problem for everybody on the show, to be honest.
But yeah, they pretty much go back and forth.
Getting into a screaming, yelling, and I think Melody caught her a bit. So that's really what.
Granted, that kind of was a little warranted, because Tisha, no one was talking to you. Destiny and Mel keep trying to have a conversation, and you keep jumping in. Like, be quiet. When you had your thing with Mel and y'all were talking, did Destiny keep jumping in? No. Stormy? No, nobody. But when they're talking, well, hold up, how about the ops? What's the op? What's the op? Hold on, I'm the ops? What happened to the ops? Girl.
Shut up.
And that's why she was like, girl, no, first of all, nobody's talking to you. And then that's when everything went downhill.
I felt like I was watching a college fight. I was like, and these people are in their 40s?
It was just crazy.